I have always worked on growing, healing, and evolving. And when I look at when I didn't want to have kids, I was really happy.
That's their biggest excuse when they do some fuck shit. I was growing, I was healing, I was learning a lot about myself. I was on a journey of self-discovery.
And content with where I was, but I was still trying to grow. Today, let's just say I didn't have a child.
How can she grow? She's a 4'9" Asian chick. She ain't growing. Hell nah.
Still see myself as evolved and continuing to. You never become fully evolved, right? But something happened and I just changed my mind. I said, you know what? And it really is, because I'm in a trustworthy relationship and I also am not being so hard on myself anymore and I've healed, I changed my mind and I said, you know what? I want to be a mom. I chose it.
That's her excuse, because with her ex-husband, he wanted a baby bad. But she was like, no, I don't want one. She says, oh, I healed. She just didn't want a fucking baby with him. That's what it breaks down to. Because women will make rules for guys they're not crazy about or don't like, and break rules for guys they like and are crazy about.
I decided to shift my perspective and choose this for myself.
My goal right now is to be like a Jeannie Mai. I want to be a personality that people come and listen to my opinions.
And Jeannie Mai on talk shows?
Yes.
Do you know about how her first marriage turned out?
The most single demographic of women tend to be women, career-driven women, in their 30s. Now, many women live under the assumption that you could focus on education, focus on your career, live your best life, have many different experiences, maybe even have a hoe phase, and by the time you are 30 years old, 28, 29, 30, that there will be an exceptional, rare man waiting there at the finish line to take your hand in marriage. But the reason why the most single demographic of women are 30, because it doesn't seem to work like that. And whenever men have attempted to explain this to women, because the facts, the data, and the statistics just aren't enough for them, they would always bring up one person. They would say, Jeannie Mai. She has a husband, she has a fulfilling career, she could do both, and she has it all. So we are going to explore that, break that down here on The Radical Masculine.
The ideas, opinions, and beliefs of the radical masculine are for entertainment purposes only. We make fun of everyone equally.
Dear Radical Masculinists, I want to tell you that your support does go a long way, so please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You could also donate to The Radical Masculine. Every dollar donated goes directly back into The Radical Masculine and all of my content. Not in my pocket, not for dates, not for a Lambo. But now, your feature presentation. Now this is Jeannie Mai Jenkins. Now you already know when a woman does not take her man's last name, whenever they hyphenate it, automatically you have to know that she is a feminist. Now Jeannie Mai was born January 4th, 1979. She is an American television host and stylist. She is best known for her work on The Makeover Show, How Do I Look?, and the Syndicate daytime talk show, The Real. She is a fashion expert. She is frequently featured on TV programs such as Today, Extra, and Entertainment Tonight. She has also appeared as a host for E! And this is J. Wayne Jenkins, born September 28th, 1977. Known by his stage name Jeezy, or Young Jeezy. He's not so young anymore, so now he just goes by Jeezy. Jeezy is an American rapper. He was once signed to Def Jam, Let's Get It, Thug Motivation 101 were two of his albums that were released and debuted on the Billboard 200, selling over 172,000 copies in the first week and receiving platinum certification by the record industry. Now we're going to react to a couple of videos and I will break them down and give you my analysis.
Hi, Shan. Hi, Boo. Hi.
I am over the moon for you.
Yeah,
I really am. So there's a school of thought that when you get with somebody, they're supposed to love you for who you are. And you're not supposed to change for love.
Yeah.
Because love is about acceptance.
That's only women. Only women expect to be loved as they are for who they are. But men have to continuously change to become better for them.
If you have to change for love, then it's not the right person for you.
Right.
But you changed a lot.
A lot. I don't agree with that school of thought because I don't expect somebody to change for me, but I want them to grow and to become better versions of.
I don't want them to change, but I want them to want to change for me. See, whenever a woman's a stripper, she'll say, you know who I am. You know who I was when you met me. But with the guy, they're like, you should want to change for me. This is why guys don't buy it.
Themselves for them. Like the person who, my favorite quality in a person that I think is so attractive is self-awareness. I love when someone's self-aware to be like, you know what? That was kind of narcissistic of me, or that was kind of selfish of me, or that, and then
only on the man's side. Only when a man says, hey, you know what? I'm self-aware. Sorry, I was narcissistic. I was wrong. But yeah.
whatever. And then whatever you see when you call that out, do what you got to do in order to kind of grow out of that. Or
it's always from a man's point of view, or from a woman's point of view to a man. I love it when a man is self-aware enough to know when he did something wrong. It's always from that point of view. And watch, this is the first time I'm watching this, and I guarantee you that's where this is going. It's something on the man, where the man doesn't know better and the man fixes it and he does what he should do for a great woman like her.
Or draw a boundary between you and that person. For example, I have a really hot temper. Not a lot of people know this, but it's just something in my family. I've seen it in my grandmother.
I believe it.
I'm sorry, saw it in my grandfather, to my grandmother, to my mom, to my aunts, to me, right? But I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
You notice at first, she said my grandmother, then she corrected herself and said my grandfather, and then my grandmother.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No, because it has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person to mirror things back to you, where you actually would stop you in your tracks and evaluate yourself, you know?
So you had it.
So I had it, but nobody
nobody
ever called me out on it. Also in my line of work,
very few guys call women out on their bullshit. This is why when you watch like Fresh and Fit, other Red Pill podcasts, that's why women are so baffled that a guy would disagree with them.
Sometimes being a boss isn't so great for you because you have a lot of people who just agree to what you want.
So she considers herself a boss. No wonder why her marriages fail. The modern woman, the template, it does not work.
Yes men, right? And so I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy. And here's a person who is my equal. And
he was a guy that said, I will not tolerate your shit. And that's why he dropped her like a bad habit, because clearly something was going on. And he was like, oh, no, fuck this. Not only am I not going to accept it, but I'm going to divorce your ass over it. He's not her equal. He's her superior.
Respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like, who? That's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? But
she's a toxic bitch. Most modern women are toxic as fuck.
I was triggering him. So through work, we learned that we both have certain habits that to the everyday person, from friends, family, fans, they'll never see it. But to the person who loves us deep enough, You can press that button and boom, the dragon comes out. And we both have it. So we had to work on that. But he never told me to
Did you know that dragon was a chicken?
fix my temper. I just saw it and I thought, unless I want to stay in this place where I lose this person I love and I stay in my comfort zone of doing what I want to do.
Apparently, she didn't get her own memo because he left her ass, and he filed the divorce. And a lawyer said that apparently the way it was done in a way to where someone would just come up to her, serve her with papers, and she wouldn't even know about it. And I know she didn't know about it because just 2 days ago, she was promoting his book.
And function
W-Min all the way. Boy.
in the way I have for the last 40 years when nobody else had to stop me.
Which obviously has done quite well for you.
Right, I could have.
Holy fuck, she's 40? No wonder why Jeezy's leaving her. He could get a 25-year-old version of her. No one wants 40-year-old women. Ugh.
But this was something greater that I wanted, and also a great challenge to myself to say, what if, now that I know it exists and the dragon's there, what if I got rid of that? How do I kill that dragon or store it in its place so that it never creates havoc in my life? And that took work. So for me, I think,
Well, you didn't work hard enough, and that motherfucking dragon is part of you and your culture.
I don't want somebody who doesn't change. I want you to change and grow, if it means growing into an even better version of what I fell in love with.
Mm-hmm. There is this theory, it's called the self.
It's always the woman's point of view, what the woman wants. I want you to change and grow. It's never like, I want to change and grow for him. All the things she spews when she's talking about, like, the shit that comes from her, it's a fucking metaphorical dragon. It's shit that's really not real. But when she says serious, honest shit, it's always on the man. I don't know if you guys notice this or catch this, or I'm just a fucking genius, but
Expansion theory, and it essentially says that humans are unique to other animals in that rather than just needing the basics of food, water, shelter, safety, belonging, we also need achievement. And that's what makes us different. So we are just as driven to find somewhere safe to sleep at night as we are to get up in the morning and strive for something.
Yes.
So when we're in a relationship, it's an opportunity for achievement because you can learn something else. You see the world broader. You have
I
a new
love
circle.
that.
So
when you're in a relationship, it's an opportunity for achievement.
Yes.
That is why I'm in my relationship. You just nailed it right there. What's that thing called again?
Self-expansion theory.
well, apparently she failed. So men rarely divorce their wives. Rarely. It's like 20%. And the thing about that is, whenever a woman gets divorced from a man, whenever a man divorces a woman, she is a fucking failure. And women don't want to hear that. They want to say, oh, well, they want to soften the blow, like, well, we just weren't for each other. He wasn't my person in the end. We agreed to split, and nah. You are a fucking failure, because women are the ones who normally leave marriages. So when a guy files divorce, you fucked up bad. And many modern women that believe the things that I say or other content creators say about this whole thing about modern women or whatnot, they are cruising for a fucking bruising, because many guys are going to start to say, nah, fuck this. I'm divorcing her and I'm out.
About the SET. Yes. That is me. Everybody always asks, why in this relationship has it changed you? Has it made you softer and different?
Because he was a masculine dude and he put you in your fucking place and you liked it, but you are such a modern woman, you couldn't break out of it. You couldn't be what he needed you to be. You had to pull out and measure your dick against him. And this is why men do not like career women.
In these different ways. And of course he's a great man, But what is it beyond his looks or his accolades that make me so attracted to this relationship and working for it? Like actually working for it, like changing myself, growing, doing things. It's the ability to achieve. It makes me actually like myself more.
I want to say something that someone said to me, and I want to know what your reaction to this is. Okay. So we're going to role play. I'm going to say, Jeannie, the last time that I saw you, because I haven't seen you in a long time, you didn't want to have kids.
Right.
And now you've evolved into a woman who knows that it's her time to share a life and to give life. It's beautiful.
You really dug in there with that evolve. You really, ooh, I didn't like that one. I'm trying to process it because I'm forgetting you were role playing, but I was like, what you mean by evolve? Like,
What? I was perfect as I came? I didn't come to the table and I wasn't perfect? And then watch, now she's going to spin it around and say, yes, I did evolve and I've become a greater version of myself. Women love to fucking verbally masturbate and congratulate one another.
it has nothing to do with whether or not I chose to have kids. Evolving to me just means growing into understanding and accepting myself more. And that could also mean not choosing to have children. But that right there hit so low below the belt, because you almost made me feel like I was stuck in a place that I would never recognize was lower than other women out there.
I'm telling you right now, she's overly sensitive. She's very combative. She pulls her dick out all the time to say, hey, look at my Asian dick.
That because now I changed my mind, I've caught up. And that is insulting. I really don't understand why. And moms, now that I'm a mom, I'm speaking to moms out there too. I don't love when moms make you feel like they feel bad for you if you don't see it. Mm-hmm. They actually sympathize, like, but you don't know. There's the real love of a mother. There's nothing like it. And you'll never experience.
The crazy part is this is kind of her interview, but it's not really her interview, if you know what I mean. Like, this other chick's hosting it. She's trying to just have a cordial conversation, and she made this all about her and all about her feelings. This is the typical modern woman. And I'll tell you what, before I was like, oh yeah, she's top notch, she's this, she's that, she's Asian, I like Asians. I ran through the whole fucking continent. I mean, I got Thai, Laos, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these, and I hit them all. But I'm looking at her, and at first I was like, oh yeah, she's a baddie, she's top notch or whatever. Now I'm looking at her and I'm like, she's too old, she's clearly a problem, and no fucking wonder why Jeezy divorced her Asian pancake ass.
Until you see it this way. And those things, I look at I try to play devil's advocate, and I see what you're saying in the sense of another type of love. I'll never.
I knew it. She loves the devil.
Know that until I've experienced it. Yes, that is true. But that doesn't mean I will be shorted on the type of love that is available for me.
Yes.
Because I didn't choose to have kids. Mm-hmm. And so when moms, which happened by.
This bitch is talking about not feeling the pressure or not feeling bad for not having kids, even though she has a kid. So this is how you know she is solipsistic as fuck, because she's getting offended because apparently she feels like this girl judged the previous version of her when she didn't want to have kids. That's fucking crazy.
Whole life looked down upon me because they were like, oh, poor thing, she doesn't get it.
Because you'd also hate the person who is super rich and you offer them a bottle of wine. They're like, oh, please. You don't know. You actually haven't really had. Have you not been to the Himalayan mountains?
Right.
There's a cave. You got to go. You won't experience wine until then. You're like, fuck you, bitch.
Yes.
My $7 bottle of wine is delicious.
And it works for me.
Yeah.
And it gives me a damn good time. And if you try some, you probably know.
Right.
For me, I feel great just saying, I changed my mind. Mm-hmm. I literally just changed my mind.
She's defensive, and she's saying this and doing this because she knows she didn't like her husband enough. She didn't respect him enough, because back when she was married to him, she would come out and say, oh no, it's not because I don't want to have a baby with him. No, he's great. I don't want to have a baby because I don't want to have a baby. And this is calling her out right now and showing she just didn't respect her man enough to give him a baby. And this is her trying to fucking play it off like, yeah, no, it wasn't him. It was me. I didn't want one. But then I decided I want one. And the only thing that changed is I got a different man. And apparently he was a man I was willing to work for the relationship. She has said it all. She has, this has been a fountain of information, and she doesn't even fucking know it.
I have always worked on growing, healing, and evolving. And when I look at when I didn't want to have kids, I was really happy and content with where I was, but I was still trying to grow. Today, let's just say I didn't have a child.
This whole grow, evolve, my journey, all of this shit is just a fucking excuse for them to demonstrate poor behavior on another person. This is what women say when they divorce their husband, break up with their high school sweethearts, and it's a fucking broken record.
Still see myself as evolved and continuing to. You never become fully evolved, right?
Yeah.
But something happened and I just changed my mind. I said, you know what? And it really is because
Bigger dick, respect, masculinity. Yes, we get it.
I'm in a trustworthy relationship, and I also am not being so hard on myself anymore, and I've healed. I changed my mind and I said, you know what? I want to be a mom. I chose it. I decided to shift my perspective and choose this for myself.
Hey, that dick will make anyone change anything at any point in time. I get it. I feel you.
You're finding yourself now in this space where not only do you love yourself more through the partnership that you're in and like yourself more, which I think is
It's not a partnership, and when it is, they get divorced because the man holds headship over a marriage and the woman is his helpmate. And I'm not even fucking Christian, but whenever that dynamic exists in a marriage, it works. But when you got a female and a man, both pulling out their fucking cocks, and I know Jeezy's cock is way bigger than her little Asian cock, then yeah.
very, very different.
Yeah.
Liking yourself in reflection of your partner.
See, women don't like this. Women do not like the fact that men are dissecting their nature. They are pulling up videos and giving their opinions on the way women behave today in 2023, and they fucking hate it because throughout history they could always say, oh no, it's not me, I don't do that, that's just the type of people you date, that's just the type of people that you pick, it's not me, it's not everyone. Women were able to keep everything subjective, but now we could fucking put the video on and we could see how all women are actually the same.
But you now are creating something with your partner, which is another life.
Yes.
Have you thought about what does the next version of you look like with baby Jay in your arms?
As an American, it's my responsibility to understand the lives and the needs of the cultures that exist around me. So whether it's Black, Native American, Hispanic, I live and dwell with all of my neighbors that are of different races. So I need to understand what each journey is because not everybody.
Wow, she's such a great person. The way she understands different races and nationalities. Wow. Bravo. Bravo. What a great catch, Jeezy. Why'd you fucking divorce her? Other than the obvious.
Is the same. But then now, being married to a Black man, I need to understand even more his journey and his perspective so that I can be of genuine support and allyship to him.
This is the woman that admitted that she fetishized, or I don't know. She has a fetish for black men.
Now having a blood child who's going to be of those mixed races, I need to learn even more and adopt it, because
I'll tell you what, Asian and black, those like the women, they grow up to be beautiful.
can't have this black child only be grown up to know Vietnamese culture. This black child can't just be
Beautifully said.
Vietnamese and not, understand where his or her ancestors come from, or what.
I'm starting to notice and realize that whenever two women communicate, or even a group of women, all they do is kiss each other's ass. There's no pushback. It's all about not hurting any feelings. And these bitches will sit around and talk about how if we could do this, the world would be a better place because all men do is start wars. No, you bitches fuck one another up because no one's held accountable. Nothing's real. Everything's all fantasy. And I don't know.
Hardship the Jenkins had to go through specifically, or what black people had to go through to get a voice in this country. Like, there's so much more now because you carry the blood of lineage in of so many who have done so much and died to be in your place,
Yes.
So that's how that happened.
Asian women don't have eyelashes, so the fact that she has eyelashes that long, I could clearly tell she's a fake bitch.
Evolved for me.
Okay, so this is going to conclude my breakdown of the Jeannie Mai and Jeezy saga. I'll say this: don't get married. Secondly, don't get married to a modern woman. Third, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that cash app. That will conclude our evening. Thank you for watching The Radical Masculine, and I will see you in hell, motherfucker. Spaceman, out!